Oh, sorry, Susan wants me to shut up so she can start. She already did. Thank you, dear. If you're using your bolster, lay your bolster the long way on your mat, right here. Now, for the comfort of your back, if you're using blocks, please place your blocks. We're going to Supta, bound Supta Vadakanasana.
What do we?
I'm sorry?
Long way?
Long way. Yeah, you're trying to make something long that can your spine can lay on top of. All right. And if you're using your blocks or something not soft, remember if you're at home, you can just roll up pillows, you can use a sofa pillow, and then place a blanket. And you really want that blanket to roll over the edge of a block if you're not using a bolster. Okay. Doug, can I get you anything? Or are you okay? Because if you can go all the way on your back, you're fine. Okay. From here, we're going to take our straps. So if anybody's in studio and you're like, oh, I didn't grab a strap and I want one, just raise your hand and I will mask up and go grab you one. Okay. And when you make this strap big enough that it's going to fit around your body comfortably in a nice big old loop. A lot of you guys have done this pose before, and this actually was a requested pose. I won't say which students, if you don't like it, you don't yell at them. Now you always tell me you like this. I could swear you did. I like when I do the strap, I like to make certain that the strap is coming back towards my hip. That way it's really easy to adjust to make it tighter or looser. Your goal as you place this strap around your body, let me turn down the music. There we go. Your goal as you place the strap around your body is to have the strap behind your back resting at about where most of our yoga pants hit, right? We want to give our low back a nice massage. And then bring your feet into Vadakanasana or cobbler's pose, so soles of the feet touching. And then you draw the strap underneath the feet in front of you. Now I'm going to slide my strap so it's up here by my hip. One, so it doesn't dig into my legs, and two, so I can control how tight or loose it is, all right? Bring the tail back by your hips, and you can take an initial adjustment. You want it to kind of tug, all right? Then from here, make certain that your blocks or your bolster are pretty snug into the top of your sacrum, all right? Come down onto the forearms. This is your first chance to say, oh, the bolster's not quite where I need it, or the blocks aren't quite where I need it. I'm going to shift around. If it feels okay, Cheryl's doing it. Then do you want a longer strap so that you can loosen it? She's like, I'm good, leave me alone. You can also go to Vitacanasana, Cheryl, might get you two blocks and you can place them underneath your thighs. So if you want that, just raise your hand and I'll manage. Okay. I can't get my head out. I'll come help you. Hang on. Oh my goodness. All right. Go ahead then, lay all the way down and back. Now, if like Nancy, you've got a long torso and your head is hanging off, that's where you're going to grab another blanket or some pillows and place them underneath the head. So, are you okay? Okay, that's fine. You don't, the good question. Lisa just asked, I don't want my neck off. You don't want your head dangling. So if you need another block, just raise your hand. I will run and grab blocks and bring blocks to people. Cat does. Yeah, you do too. That's interesting. Our goal here is to let the hips begin to open up. Taking nice deep breaths in and out here. Now, as you come to this position and you start to settle into it, do that mind-body scan that we often start class with. Notice what is speaking to you. It might be saying, yay, this feels good, thank you. It might be pulling. If it's pulling, I would like you to loosen whatever's pulling. So for instance, if your thighs are bothering you, draw them in for a moment, draw the knees close together, and then use the hands to slowly lay them down and out. You're always welcome to bring the knees back together and to take a breath or two before you lay the legs back down and out. Now, ideally, we want the straps to be holding you. So if you have play in your strap, pull it tighter around your hip. Yeah, that's it, Nancy. In this way, the strap will start to hold your feet and to hold your legs. You okay? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're nice and flat. That's beautiful. Actually, it is a, you're essentially doing a frog. It's actually supine Vadakanasana. If we were in a true frog, our legs would be out more like a unicorn. You know, like this, not a unicorn, what do I want to say? Yeah, it is frog legs. Yeah, frog legs, but there's another name for it in yoga. I can't remember. Omega pose. That's what I wanted to say. Omega. How did I come up with unicorn? Take a few breaths. Try not to giggle. Let your mind focus. Now notice where the breath is residing, working to bring that breath all the way down into the belly, even as the front body is stretched and open. If your neck is thrown back, try to tuck your chin, bringing the nose so that it's pointing straight up towards the sky. We don't want to open up too much the front of the throat here. Just a few more breaths, noticing if you're pulling up through the shoulders, if the hands can relax out to your sides and the shoulders kind of drip down the sides of the mat. It will start to open up the pectoral muscles across the front of your chest. And again, notice the breath. Where is it going? Amit Ray has a quote I'd like to share with you. Yoga is not just repetition of postures. It is more about the exploration and discovery of the subtle energies of life. So today, listen to what your body is telling you. Explore those subtle energies. Listen, and if your body is asking you for more, feel free. Give a little bit more. If your body's asking you to back off, back off. And if you need assistance finding some types of modifications to allow that, then let me know. If you're online, remember, press your space bar, and that will allow you to talk. If you're in studio, as always, feel free to comment and ask questions. Make this your yoga class that works for your body. Take 2 more full deep breaths, in and out, drawing that breath all the way down and in. The end of your second breath, draw your hands underneath your thighs, unhook your feet one at a time from your strap, and then draw the knees up so that the feet are planted on the ground and the knees are pointing up towards the sky. Take a full breath in and out here. And then walk your feet as wide apart as your mat and let your knees fall in against each other. If at any point in class you're feeling like maybe you've done enough on the hips or too many twists, whatever, this is a great pose for resetting the back. So if you're feeling pain, just come down either onto the blocks, the bolster, or all the way down onto the ground. Walk the feet all the way out to the edges of the mat and let the knees just relax in on each other. Take a few breaths there. So that we can keep moving today, we'll walk the feet back into hip distance apart. With an exhale, roll off whatever you're on onto one of your sides. It doesn't matter which, letting the bottom arm support the head for a moment. Then use the top hand and the top leg. Stretch the top leg out and push into the top hand and rise easily up, finding your Sukhasana or your seated position. Go ahead and press whatever you were on away and make certain that you leave some space on the side of your mat. You're coming out to a T in a little bit, and we want to have space near the top of our mat. From here, we're going to do some seated cat-cow. So find the position that works for you. And with your hands on your knees, inhale, lift the heart and press the belly forward. Roll the shoulders back, maybe the head comes forward. Think cow. And then exhale, curl the shoulders, roll onto the sacrum. Look down at your tummy. Keep going with your breath, really exploring and rocking through the whole spine for at least 3 of these cat-cows, depending on your breath. For some of us, this variation of cat-cow is more accessible, gets us off our wrists. For others, it's a real pain in the butt. We don't like it at all. And the next time you find yourself with a neutral spine, lift up, press down through the sit bones, down through the knees, lift up through the heart, bring the hands together at the heart center. Go ahead and set your intention for your mat today. And then gently bow your head, honoring that intention. Inhale, lifting the head up. Soft focus in the eyes as you let the hands fall down by the hips. Let the left hand float down to the ground. Reach that right arm up, plant that right hip, and then stretch over to the left side. Inhaling back up, take the arms out like an airplane, and then switch. Inhale back up, airplane those arms, and switch. With your breath, do a couple more on each side, not worrying about what your neighbor might be doing or what you're seeing. Just honoring your body, planting that one hip, getting a nice long side body stretch as we move. And the next time we all come up through the midline, we'll draw both arms up, meeting there. Exhale, twist to the right. Let the left hand come down to the right knee, right hand come behind you. Give that spine length and exhale and twist. In this twist, really plant the hips and the knees towards the floor. Think of your pelvic bowl, pressing the pelvic bowl towards the floor, lifting through the heart. A couple of big breaths in and out here. Are your shoulders relaxed and down? And then inhale and float those arms back up. Come right through the center, exhaling, twisting left. Hands float down, plant the low body, and then lift out of that exhale and twist. Nice big breaths in and out here. Relax those shoulders. We always want to use the shoulders and the chin to help us get into a twist, but they don't really help us. Inhale, lift those arms back up. Come back through the center. Exhale and draw the hands down to your heart. Bring your hands behind you and swing your legs back. Find your tabletop position. Press down through the finger pads, scooping up through the center of the hand. Roll and lift the shoulders up away from the mat. Draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Look down and make certain that the feet are hidden by the thighs. And take 3 traditional cat-cows here, just noticing the difference in your spine. Reminding yourself, oh, when I do that seated variation, this is still the sensation I'm going for. I'm just giving my neck and my wrists a break with the seated variation. And then next time you find your spine in a neutral position, press straight into that tabletop, lift the right leg behind you, and then drop the right toes down into the floor and press back for that calf stretch. Inhale forward, draw the right knee right in next to the left knee in the center of your mat. Lift your left knee up and draw it over and behind, finding the floor. Now shimmy your feet as wide apart as they will go, bringing the outer knife edges down. Exhale, press the hips back as you stretch the arms forward. Your right knee should roll up off the mat. Big upper body stretch as well as hip stretch. Now, if you are not a fan of Gomukhasana, cow face, this is a great variation and you're welcome to stay here for a few breaths. If you'd like to keep going with this, roll forward until your knees come back onto the ground. Walk your hands back by your knees. If you have tight hips, grab one of your blocks and place that block underneath you as you come down to a seated position. Remember, you can always pull the block out. So I like to land on the block first and check it out. Now we're going to want our strap. So look around and find your strap. If you need to move out of position, you grab it. If you can do Gomukhasana arms without the strap and you prefer not to use it, that's fine. This is your practice, right? Once you come down and you've got your strap in hand, let's adjust the base of our pose. So if you look, you might be able to see that one of my legs is way further back by my hip than the other. So check your legs. We want to try to draw those legs so they are equidistant across as much as possible. So you might have found, oh, I can go all the way down, but now I can't move my legs, right? Or when I go all the way down, I get more freedom in my legs. I get the question all the time, should my legs be forward or should they be back? It depends on your hips, right? If it's easy for you to pull the legs forward, then work on pulling them back. If it's easy to pull them back, then work on fanning them out, right? We want to open and strengthen the hips. Once you find this, then, and by the way, we're trying to stack the knees as much as possible here in Gomukhasana. If you're using the strap, it's going to go over the left arm. Take that left arm straight out in front of you. Rotate that arm all the way up into the shoulder, drawing the shoulder blade in. And then lift that left arm up by you want the tricep by the left ear. If this is your yoga today, just getting that arm back, stay there. Want to go deeper, bend that left palm down, touching either the shoulder blade, grabbing the strap. Take that right arm out, flip the thumb down towards the ground. Now reach behind you. Don't go down yet. Reach behind you as far as you can go. Then slide the arm back and begin to bend it. You should find you get a little more shoulder mobility that way. Now you can grab the strap or your shirt and maybe work to draw the left elbow up and the right elbow down. Relax the shoulders, breathe. Yeah, just take that shoulder out of it. In fact, Nancy, you might just reach over like this and work to bring that elbow back, right? Once we're here, we're going to press down through the sit bones. I'm going to go through puberty evidently during class. Once we're here, we're going to press down through the sit bones, lift up through the heart. Now pull the rib points towards the hip points and engage the core. So don't just let the belly hang there. Pull it in. One more breath here. Draw the corners of your mouth up. And then let the hands slide apart. Roll those shoulders. And just take note, what was happening there was your chest rolling and your head coming forward. Then on the other side, we want to make certain that we're pulling that chest up and bringing the head back. All right, bring your hands by your hips and rock forward. Undo this twist. And if you need some hip rolls here to work that out, feel free. We'll all meet back in our tabletop with the assorted props that we need for our pose around us somewhere. So find your table and do 3 more of those cat-cows. I like to go back to a pose that feels comfortable, like home base. Cat-cow right here is that pose, hopefully. To bring our breath back, to bring our awareness back. And the next time you've got a nice neutral spine, lift that left leg up, stretch through the heel, get a nice long stretch, and then lay the toes down behind you. Press back into that left heel. Get a nice little quad stretch. So when we go into a warrior one, not quad, calf. So when we go into a warrior one, your calf isn't cramping on you. Inhale, draw the left knee right into the midline of the mat. So the knees are snug in together. Draw the right knee up and over the left knee, finding the opposite side floor. Now, if you start to shimmy those legs apart here, that'll help you. Exhale, press back into that Desiree stretch, pushing back almost, it's kind of a combo of child's pose, Gomukhasana, puppy. Hips are lifted, left knee rolls. Again, if you want to stay here because you were like, I didn't like that Gomukhasana on the other side, stay here. If you want to go deeper, press forward, walk the hands back. You decide, do you want to block to land on, or are you descending all the way down? I'm going to start with the block, it's early. And then look down and shimmy those legs so that they're about equidistant. Bring that strap in over the right shoulder here. Take that right arm out and rotate it all the way up. Draw the arm up by the ear. Explore that sensation. And then when you're as far back as you can go, the right arm reaches down. It really helps to press that palm into the shoulder blade, which you'll feel then if you're caving forward right away, right? Take that left arm out, reach back behind you, slide the arm down, bending the elbow, and reach up. Grasp that strap and start to gently pull right elbow up, right shoulder down, left elbow down, left shoulder down. Lift up through the heart. Barbara, you look very comfortable in this position. Nancy just made a face at you. Couple of breaths here. It's very hard not to rush the second side for me. I always want to be like, yeah, did this. Now, if it hurts, please don't go to hurt, right? Let go. Thank you, Nancy. I could see the look on her face. This was not good for her. We explore the edge in yoga, and then we walk back from it slightly. Slide those hands apart, stretch the arms out, and maybe do a few shoulder rolls. Take that strap off to the side. Bring the hands back behind the hips and walk yourself forward again. Unwind, and again, if you need some hip rolls on this side now to wake up those hips, go ahead and take those. When you're ready, we're going to bring the blocks in and place them at the front of our mat, and then draw our right foot forward, finding an Anjaneyasana. So we're in a low lunge pose, left leg slightly back. All right. Now, if you know, in a little bit, we're going to hamstring curl the left leg and reach back. And if you know, I can't reach my foot there, I don't like to reach my foot there, have your strap handy so you can kind of lasso the foot. All right. Once you get the arms up on the blocks, I want you to roll the shoulder blades on the back and pull your heart through. Press your right hip back. Really plant that right foot and lay the left toes flat. Now start to press the hips down and forward evenly. Left and right hips stay even. Heart lifts. Breath is nice and even. Should be feeling a nice big hip flexor stretch in that left hip. Now, if you're here and this feels fine to you and you want to go deeper, yeah, feel free. You can pull the belly in to support you, lift up with the arms. You might even add in a nice little back bend here. If you took that back bend, come back through the center, bring the hands back down to the mat. Take the blocks off to the side of the mat, and then walk your hands back or walk your hips back so that you're in a neutral low lunge position. We're going to bring the left block in and place it right underneath the left hand. You can take the left toes, dig them in, take the left knee slightly further back, lay the left toes back down. Take the right hand to the right hip, press down and anchor that hip. Pull the right knee in towards the midline. Use all that foundation to let you twist up to the right. The base of the body is really doing the work here. It's holding you and you're just moving the top portion of the body. Now, if you feel comfortable here, you're welcome to take that right arm up. Maybe you rotate the palm and reach around behind you and try to find that left hip for a shoulder opener. You can dig those left toes in and press up to more of a high lunge position. Let that right arm float right back up. Take the right hand down towards the floor. Let the left knee come back down towards the floor. Bring your blocks to their highest elevation. Press your right hip back. It's going to be monkey see, monkey do. You're just going to have to watch in a minute. As you pull that right hip back for your stretch here, pull the left hip forward, lift up through the heart, give yourself plenty of room, which is why I like to use the blocks here. Yes, you probably can reach the floor, but I'd like you to have a lot of openness in the heart and the chest. Go ahead and press the gas pedal and then pull back through the toes. And again, press that gas pedal and pull back through the toes. Exhale, draw the heart down towards the shin. Let your gaze go towards your ankle or your toes so that you're keeping the neck in line with the spine. Keep pulling that right hip back. Inhale, lift up with the heart. Take that left hand over and find whatever you can on the right side of your body. It might be the outside of the right foot, might be your calf. Once you've got hold of it, think of pulling the heel into the right hip and lifting the leg. So don't just jerk it up with your hand. Pull it back in, and we're using the Mula Bandha, the pelvic lock. And then go ahead and let that foot drop down. Walk back forward. Now you're welcome to either simply press back into your Anjaneyasana lunge, or if you love your Hanuman, we were just in half Hanuman, you're welcome to stretch your leg out and go towards Hanuman. No one says you have to go the whole way. We're warming up, right? After you've chosen your variation, come back in. Take the blocks off to the side for a moment. Bring your hands down. You decide step or hop switch. Wade did this incredible hop switch yesterday. Doug will catch up when he's ready. He's down in Hanuman. He's like, it took me a minute to get here. Hang on. All right. Bring the hands back to the blocks. So really set up this nice deep stretch. You know, we're going to really challenge those hips, right? So lift through the heart and then press the pelvis down and forward. Back toes go flat. Belly pulls in, heart lifts, shoulders relax. Breathe. Now you're welcome to stay right here enjoying this stretch. Notice I say enjoying. Pull that left hip forward. If you feel good, you want to go deeper for that back bend again. Make certain you start down in the belly. Pull the belly in, lift the heart, release the hands, float the arms up. Lift through the thoracic spine. Curl there, looking up behind you. Come back through the midline, hands come down. Beautiful, draw that left hip back. Oops, wait, I forgot our twist. Don't draw your left hip. Draw slightly back so that you're in two 90-degree angles. Place the right block flat. Right hand comes down onto the block, left hand comes into the left hip joint. Press down, anchoring that hip, and out of that, twist up to the left. You're welcome to float that left arm up if that feels good, or keep it down. You can draw that left arm behind you for a little bit of a bind, trying to stack left shoulder over right. And you can tuck that back toe and press up into more of a high lunge. When you're ready, float that arm back up. Draw the knee down, bring the hands back to the block. Now we'll go to that half Hanuman. Walk the left hip back, stretch the left leg out, draw the right hip forward, lift through the heart, relax the shoulders, and exhale. Here with your chest all the way down, now play with press the gas pedal, pull back with the toes. See how that feels different from the other side. Which gives you the better sensation in your body. Notice I didn't say which is easier or more challenging. Which one does your body say, oh yeah, that's what I needed? Inhale and lift up. walk your blocks back. And now you're welcome to either press into that Anjaneyasana stretch we did, or let the left leg float forward and find Hanuman. I did it on both sides, didn't I? I have to come back and we'll pull that in. We didn't yet. All right, pull back in. Bring your hands down to the floor. We'll start on this side. We're going to add the other side in. Doug just said that because he's in Hanuman, so he doesn't have to do it. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Draw your right knee back slightly so that you're off of the kneecap. If you have problems with your knees, feel free to draw your blanket in or to roll your mat or to bring a wrap pad in. Now, as you breathe, pull that right foot up towards the right glute. If that activates a spasm in your thigh, you're probably using the back leg too much. So slowly lower the leg and then slowly lift. So you're using both the front and the back muscles. Plant it on the left hand, reach back with the right hand and find your ankle, your foot, whatever you can grab. Can't grab anything, grab your strap and lasso it. From here, really press left knee into left tricep. Once you feel balanced, left hand to left knee. Pull the hips through and forward. Oh, there are the quads, right? Lift with the heart. Now you're welcome to stay here to lift that left arm. You're welcome to stay here or flip the palm and reach behind you, finding both hands on the right foot. Keep breathing. Now our goal here, besides not falling out, is to not rubber band. So once you let go of the foot, can you let it float back to the floor? Once again, step or hop switch so we can pick up that quad stretch on the other side. Love it. Doug just floated on his hop switch. All right. Take that left knee back a little so you're off the kneecap. Start to curl the leg as you draw the right hand, the hands to the inside. Right away, I activated a spasm in the back of my leg. So I'm going to slowly take it down and slowly lift it back up. Plant that right hand, reach back, find the left ankle. Draw the right tricep next to the right knee for stability. Once you feel balanced, right hand can come up to the right knee. Hips pull through, heart lifts, square the chest. Reach that right arm up. Stay here or flip the palm, reach around behind you and find that left foot. Notice one side might feel a whole lot different than the other side. Can you use muscular energy to release and float? Back down, step into that front foot, floating the back foot up next to it, and shake those legs out. Let the head drop, tailbone lifts, couple of breaths. Inhale halfway up for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and float down. Inhale up. Flow with the breath a couple more times so you've done 3 Ardha Uttanasanas. We'll meet in a forward fold. Plant your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Nice long back. Lift all the way. Exhale, hands to heart center. And shake those legs out. Beautiful. We'll do 2 sun salutation A's. The first one we'll do a standard baby cobra. The second one we're going to add in fingertip cobra for our back bend. All right. So inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, make your way to your plank, stepping, hopping, whatever. Exhale, take your chaturanga, perhaps hover, and then float down to the ground. Press through the legs. Inhale, lift up, baby cobra. Stay nice and low so that you could lift the hands. Plant the hands back down if you lifted. Tuck the toes and reverse your plank or press through table, finding down dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths and feel free to work out this down dog. You can shimmy the hips side to side. You might walk your dog. Some folks like to flow from plank back to dog. And when you are ready, behind the inhale, look forward, bending the knees. Then step or hop behind the exhale, making your way up to the front of your mat to a forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale and fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll keep going for that second one. So inhale, exhale, and fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and step or hop to plank. Chaturanga and hover. Release all the way down. Slide the arms out into a T. Come to the fingertips, bending the elbows towards the sky. Stretch through the spine. Inhale and lift the heart. Breathe here. Then look to the right. Come back to the center. Look to the left. Come back to center. Exhale the hands down. Bring the hands back by the rib cage. Tuck the toes. Reverse the plank or press through table. Lift up and find down dog. Again, 3 to 5 long, deep, slow breaths. Down dog is where we always try to come back to the breath. When you're ready, look forward, slightly back. Yeah, when you're ready, look forward and then make your way to the front of your mat. Inhaling halfway up, nice flat spine, sit bones lifted. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, float eyes and arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful, shake it all out. Question? On fingertip cobra? Fingertip cobra, traditionally, again, if you're working on something different, you might see a variation. But traditionally, we stretch out into a T, and from here, you just sweep the fingers back in line. You want the fingers roughly in line with the shoulders, so that as you pull the heart forward and lift up, you've got this nice foundation, right? Okay, good question. All right, from here, if you need a drink, grab one. We'll meet back at the top of our mat. Think about where I want to take you, because I know Nancy got mad when we didn't get Pigeon in. So we got to get Pigeon in. We got to do the sequence with Pigeon. All right, find your Tadasana pose. Build that pose, build that home base. Listen to what your body is saying to you right now. Like I'm listening, my left knee is complaining a little bit, right? My neck wants some more stretches. So what is your body telling you? Feel free to make those adjustments that you need to. Take a big breath in and out. Let the eyes flutter open and the hands reach all the way up. We're headed to Utkatasana. So squeeze those legs from ankles to hip as you descend the hips back and down. You'll see a lot of variations of Utkatasana. Where should my feet be, right? As long as you are squeezing from ankles to hips, I don't care if they're touching or if they're wide apart. It depends on your balance, your back, lots of things. Just no knock knees, please. One more in and out breath. Then exhale and forward fold. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands, step back, find a plank. This is the last series where I will request that you do your chaturanga. After that, they're optional. Exhale, chaturanga, maybe you hover and pull through for an up dog. Roll over those toes and press back for down dog. Take a couple of breaths. You probably figured we're doing a sun B, so plant that left foot, lift the right leg, bend the right knee, swing it into the midline and place the foot in between the hands. Take the left foot a little further out to the side, setting up for warrior one legs. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Breathe. Exhale, the hands back behind the heart. Grasp the hands, press the hands towards the back heel as you plant down through that back heel. Lift with the heart, finding a little back bend. Come forward, nice neutral spine. As we exhale, take the right shoulder to the right knee. Now you're welcome to stay right here, nice long back, or to draw the right knee to the inside, the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, and rotate the arms overhead. Let the crown of the head relax towards the ground. You're very close to the ground, so if you lose your balance, you just drop your hands and grab yourself. Not a problem. One more big breath here. Then draw the hands back towards the hips as you inhale, floating straight back up. Release the grip and reach up for warrior one. Exhale the left arm forward, the right arm back for a twist. Inhale, bring the hands back together. Exhale, hands down to the hips. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Make certain that your weight is evenly balanced, hips are even. Now, if you're like me and in pyramid, you don't like to touch the ground, go ahead and find your blocks and bring them in close. All right? If you're okay with no blocks, just wait, I'll catch up. All right, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale up, reach the arms up. Now float, nice long back, pull the belly in to support your back as you reach through. You might stop right here because that's all your back likes. You might float the hands down to the floor or your blocks and dip your foot like we did in that first stretch, that half Hanuman. Notice don't let the foot sickle out. Press down through the big toe ball mound. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe. Inhale, bending into that front knee, lifting the arms up, finding your warrior one. Exhale, bring the hands down. If you're using blocks, move those blocks off to the side. Plant your hands, take the right leg back and find a plank. Last mandatory, chaturanga. Exhale, press down. You guys know better than that. Nothing is mandatory, right? They're all requests. Press over the toes, lift to down dog. Doug's like, yeah, she's power strong. She thinks she's. All right, plant that right foot. Float the left leg up behind you, bend the knee, sweep it in high, and place the foot in between the hands. Take the right foot out further to the right. Pull the left hip back and the right hip forward, and float the arms up. We'll all meet there in our warrior one, pressing firmly down through that back heel. Nice big bend in that front knee. And then float the hands back, take the funky grip, other thumb in front. Press the hands towards the back heel, lift the heart. Maybe we take that little back bend. Come back through a nice neutral spine. Exhale, fold over that front thigh, connecting left shoulder, left knee. Once you've connected and you've checked your balance, if you want to go deeper, you draw the left shoulder inside the left knee. Now, once we do that, the left butt wants to pop out. So keep pulling the left butt towards the right heel. Inhale, lifting back up. We're going to straighten that front leg and float down to our variation of pyramid. I'm going to grab those blocks and pull them in to help me. Flatten through the back. Exhale, draw the heart down towards the thigh. Couple of breaths. Bend into that front knee. If you're using the blocks, take them off to the side. Inhale up. Now your choice if you want to finish with a vinyasa or just float and meet us in down dog. Right, hands come down to frame the foot, press back. You're taking the vinyasa, press down, chaturanga, pull through for a back bend. It might be up dog. Press back, down dog. Couple of breaths. Look towards the front of your mat. Bend your knees. Exhale and make your way up to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale and fold. Drop those hips. We're headed right back to our chair to finish off our sun B. Squeezing from ankles through hips. Legs equidistant. Pull the belly in. Lift the heart. Inhale, stretch all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Shake it all out. All right, we're going to make our way down to the mat. Oh, I see somebody needs a drink. So if you need a drink, go ahead and take it. Yeah, you don't have to do, but one of the fun things that yogis like to do is on the solstice, the different solstices throughout the year, to do 108 sun salutation.
Told us we have to do that. I'm pretty sure I don't. I didn't get a shot.
Yep, it's always optional, right? But yeah, Kathy and Jim really liked to do that, where he would count. I think the most I ever did in one class was 37 in Chaturangas. And I was like, yeah, not doing that again for a while. All right. So find your Tadasana pose. All right, we're gonna sneak in that pigeon for you here. All right, so inhale, stretch all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Before we go to pigeon, I'd like you to bend your right knee and walk your hands off to the right side of your right foot. Feel that stretch through the left hip. Remember, if you can't reach the floor, you just grab your block and put your block so that you can, but we want the head to relax towards the floor. Walk the hands back to the midline, straighten both legs, pop that left knee, and then start to walk the hands off to the outside of the left foot. Should be feeling a nice big stretch through the right hip, maybe down the right TFL. And then come back to the center and straighten those legs. Inhale, halfway up, flattening the back. Exhale and fold. Plant your hands and step back transitionally to a down dog. Once you get into this down dog, lift the right leg up, bend the knee. We're headed to pigeon. So sweep the right knee behind the right wrist slightly to the outside. Either have the right foot drawn back by the left hip or come to the outside edge of the foot. Shin starts to work towards parallel to the front of the mat. Now, what's important in pigeon is that we're not off to one side. Yay, I'm down here, right? No, we want the hips square. So if you need comfort, stick a block under the lifted hip, all right? Can also go under that back thigh. Make certain the back leg is coming straight out from the hip, not off to a side. You're always welcome to stay lifted in a pigeon if you like to put your pigeon to sleep. Don't think of coming forward over the leg. Think of pressing the hips back to descend the heart down. It will give you a different sensation in the hip. And it's supposed to protect the knee. Yes.
Everybody always comes and puts their foot here. They're doing that once you put your foot. Bring your weight over here. And pull back. Easier way to get there without touching.
Yeah, you have to be really careful. That's actually one of the ways I injured my knee when I was working with a master yogi. Yeah, he wanted me to go deeper and he had me pull my hands back. And of course, you're working with a master, so you're going to do whatever he says, right? And he had me place one hand here and one hand here, lift and press back. And I heard a little snap. And that was not fun. Yeah, it was interesting. So Doug is saying another good way to get, I'll show you on the other side on my bad knee. Yeah. Or we'll have Doug just show you. Tuck that back toe down, lift up. Now, if you would like to go deeper in your pigeon, I'm going to pull my leg back because that's better on my knees. But if you'd like to go a little deeper, tuck those back toes, bring the hands back to the thigh, not the knee, and lift up. Now, pull from the core from here and lift yourself up. Pull the belly in. You might stay here or you might raise those arms. And then exhale the hands down. Tuck the back toes. So that's a prep for going to king pigeon where Doug is headed. Stretch the legs back. Press back, finding a down dog. And breathe a couple of times. So we're going to play with the hip and the elasticity in a pigeon on this side. So plant the right foot, lift that left leg up, draw the left knee in, and just set the foot on the knee where you want it to be. Now, as Doug was mentioning, one of the ways to get a little more depth here is once you've planted that leg, really engage the outer left foot and then draw the hips back and down. I'm too close to the wall. My toes behind me are on. Think about your sacrum. Is it mostly flat and even? And then from here, press down. Pigeon is a widely studied, widely controversial pose. Some people love it, some people hate it. Making certain that because you can, torque the knee, so making certain knee health. Yeah. So you'll find a lot of articles on find comfort in your pigeon, use pigeon for knee strength, knee health. And others who say, just don't do pigeon. There are too many other, do pigeons, do fine, do pigeon, there are too many other things you can't do. That's one variation of it, yeah. Yeah, I'm planning to do that at the end of class, so. Okay. When you're ready, bring your hands back underneath your heart. Lift up. If we took that other variation here on the other side, feel free to do that here. So remembering, as usual, I'm going to pull my left leg back a little for my knee. Walk the hands back, lift up through the Mula Bandha. Breathe, and then decide maybe the hands float. Now, if we were going deeper, as Doug is, he's hamstring curling the back leg and reaching back like we did in the beginning of class. That would all be, that's level 2. Tuck that back leg, stretch back, finding your plank. I like to walk the legs out briefly here. Still your plank. Dig those left toes in, lift the right toes up and tap out to the side. Sorry, Nancy, I know she hates this. Bring the toes back into the center. Plant the right toes, lift the left leg up, tap the left toes out. Come back. Do that 2 more times on each side. You can be in high plank, or if your wrists hurt, come to your forearms. Plank is plank, guys. And then exhale and pull down and find Sphinx. We'll all meet in Sphinx. Exhale, release the heart towards the floor. Draw your hands back by your sides. Stretch through the legs. Press the toes into the ground. Press the pelvis down so the knees pop up. Lift through the heart. Stretch the arms back by the feet. Lift the feet. Shalabhasana. Release, coming down to the floor. Slide your arms out in front of you so that you are karate chopping the floor. Inhale, lift through the arms, lift through the feet. Exhale, releasing down. Bring the hands back by the rib cage. Inhale, press up baby cobra. Use those same back muscles, float the hands. Bring the hands back down to the mat and then slide the hands forward, stacking them, and let one cheek or the other rest on the hands. Bend the knees, windshield wiper those legs. Couple of big breaths. All right, still those legs, stretch them out long, bring the hands back by the rib cage, tuck the toes, reverse your plank, and press back and up to down dog. Take 3 to 5 breaths, letting the body stretch it back out in this down dog. With your next inhale, plant your left foot, lift up through the right leg. We're actually headed to lizard. So draw that right foot to the outside of the right hand. Stretch out long. And know you're welcome to stay right here or bring blocks in to lift yourself up slightly. What are we looking for here? The same thing we were in our pigeon. Nice flat back. We don't want to just fall towards the floor, right? We want muscular energy pressing through that back heel, engaging the body. So if your hips are tight and you'd like to go deeper, then drop that left knee down to the ground and lay the left toes flat. You're always welcome to stay in that first variation. That's actually a little bit deeper, but it's actually more therapeutic for your hips. What we'd like to do though is, can you see how your left hip is pulling forward towards the mat? Can you see how I'm doing that right now? My left hip is down. So I want to pull the right hip down, the left hip up, so I'm square. Now, little challenge, little wade action here. If you have the knee on the ground, tuck the toes, lift up through the leg, and as he calls it, hula hoop with the hips. So try to go around, think hula hoop, not just forward and back. Yeah, you can do it in your low lunge right there, right? Just moving the hips. All right, and then still that hula hoop, lay the left knee back down again. You can take the blocks off to the side or leave them and begin to descend down into more of a traditional lizard. Now notice that area between the shoulders. So if you're hunching like, oh dear God, then please bring your blocks to a higher level underneath your elbows so that you can lift your heart, maybe look 6 to 10 inches out in front of your mat. And breathe. Release your hands, bringing them back underneath the shoulders. Take the left hand slightly further out to the side. Right hand comes to the inside of the right thigh. Tuck the back toes, and then start to stack the shoulders and come out onto the knife edge of the right foot. You're welcome to stay here or to lift that back leg. Again, you're welcome to stay here or to float that right arm up. And then when you're ready, unwind this. Pressing the right leg back by the left and exhaling back and up into your down dog. Walk those hips out a little bit. Then still your dog. Plant your right foot. Lift the left leg up. Draw the left knee in and plant the foot to the outside of the left wrist. Lizard. Nancy really likes pigeon. She went right back to pigeon. Now you're welcome to remember what we're working on here is getting those hips down, but with muscular energy. So if you're pushing up with the hips and your chest is looking, your gaze is down, I want you to lift your gaze and try to press through the back heel. That might mean I'm taking these blocks as high as these babies are gonna go, right? Whatever you need to find that freedom. And then if you'd like to drop the knee down, feel free to drop that knee. Take a breath. We're going nice and slow here to let gravity help these hip flexors. Now we have to get our little hula hoop in before we go for the full thing. So dig those back toes in, lift the back knee up again, shift the weight forward onto that left foot in your hands, and then see, can you pivot around? Imagine that you're trying to hula hoop. And then when you're ready, that right knee can come down, blocks can flatten. As you descend down, we'd ideally like that left shoulder, left knee to be lined up. Again, come down to your traditional and then check out what your body is telling you. If it's saying, this hurts, then lift up on the blocks. Find a higher level. If it's saying, this is easy, what are we doing? Go deeper. Yeah, actually, it's not so much that you want your shoulder back in line as that you want your weight forward so that you're trying to line up here. And it's not a hard and fast, it's just a lot of times what we find is that people will be doing lizard and they do this, right, where they're way back. So we're trying to get the weight forward onto that leg so that you're planting that front foot. Think like moving into TT or any arm balance, right? And then from here, we'll take the blocks off the side of the mat, lift up through the heart. Take that right arm slightly further out to the right, left hand to the inside of the left leg. Stack the shoulders, press out on that left knee, coming perhaps onto the knife edge. You can tuck that back, those back toes and lift up. And you can add the arm. Bring the hands back down to the mat. Press out through the back foot. Stretch that left leg back by the right. Lift up through the hips and walk those legs out. Nice. Couple of breaths here, settling into your down dog or finding a child's pose if you need it. If you took that child's pose, 1 or 2 more breaths, then we'll all meet in down dog. Barbara's like, okay, I can pick up down dog. From here, we're headed to a warrior 2. So plant that left foot, lift the right leg, swing the right foot in, plant the right foot, windmill the arms up, and find your warrior 2. Now look around and locate your strap. We're going to add a bind in here. So if it's not where you can reach it, find your strap and bring it in. But first we have to warm up a little bit more on the body. All right, so reach out through your warrior 2. Flip that front palm and go for reverse. Take that left arm behind you, finding the right hip crease. Breathe. Keep the bind as you inhale and straighten the front leg. Keep the bind, exhale, come back to warrior 2 legs. Float that right arm out. We're headed to a bound Vadakanasana. Right forearm, right thigh. Stack the shoulders, look up to the left. Pull the rib points in towards the hips. Stretch the head back slightly. If this is too intense on that left shoulder, release and go to a traditional Vadakanasana with the arm over your head. You choose a variation that works. Inhale, come back up to your warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Stretch the right arm towards the right fingers, and then float the right fingers towards the floor and left fingers towards the sky. Triangle. Couple of breaths. Now we're going to bend into that right knee, float the arms back up towards your warrior. Reach down, reach for the front left corner of your mat. We're headed into warrior 2 legs, and we're doing a down dog upper body. So you stretch the fingers towards the front left corner of your mat and breathe. Now, hopefully you can walk your fingers back, grabbing your strap. Inhale and lift back up to your warrior 2. We're going to take the strap. We'll see if I can remember how to do it right with the strap. Bring the strap around your back. And as you bend over your right leg, that strap is going to dangle down. All right, we're going to add a bind in here. So I'm going to take the arms and plant that right hand to the inside of the right foot. Okay, then you can reach back like in that bind with the left hand and find your strap over by your right hip. Reach through and let the left hand guide the strap into your right hand. Pull right elbow to right knee, stack the shoulders, burst the strap, and use that to help you find a bound Vadakanasana. Clear as mud, we good? So the strap is coming across your back. Maybe my turn. And then if you plant the right hand on the floor, now you're very stable. You can reach the left hand around, find the strap in the right hip crease. Slide the hand under, finding your strap. Slide the right elbow back up in contact with the right knee. Burst the strap and use that to help you pull up. So the one thing to be careful of is we don't want the strap going through your crack, okay? It's not a thong. Beautiful. When you come back up, just shake those legs out. And then we'll be doing that on the other side. Now, Nancy, remember, if you're dizzy, stay there. But if you want to just flow through a more traditional, right? You don't have to, you can just go back to Carswell. Okay. A lot of up and downs. Yeah. Yoga is doing what honors your body. So observation asana is great. Go ahead and just switch sides so you're in warrior 2 legs on the other side. In the interest of time. Plant that left leg and float down, finding your warrior 2 stance. Take the arms out. Let's take that reverse. So flip the palm. Reach up. You can add the bind here. Now inhale, straighten that front leg. focus. We're going to exhale and take that left arm out. Now you're welcome to take, I saw some of you wanting a little bit more. You're welcome to take the right arm out and we'll go straight to triangle. Or if you'd like a bound triangle, you can go for that also. Lots of different things happening here, so we want to honor everybody. We're going to pick up our Vadakanasana here, so if you choose not to do the bind, you can just stay here instead. Bend into your left leg. You can be in the bind, or you can take the arm overhead. If this is too intense, you're welcome to just bring the left forearm up to the left thigh and stay in a traditional Vadakanasana. If you want to go for that bind, first we'll take the down dog variation. So your warrior two legs, stretch the arms out towards the right front corner. Breathe. Walk the hands back, finding your strap. Swing the strap up and over your right side. So it dangles down on both sides, front and back. Take the left hand down to the mat and reach back with the right hand, finding the strap by the left thigh. Then slide the left hand under, use the right hand to guide the strap into your left hand. Pull the left elbow up to the left knee, burst the strap, and use that to help you roll the shoulders so they're stacked. And then exhale, release, take the strap off to the side, drop it on the floor. Congratulate yourself for choosing the one that works for you. Find a low lunge, a runner's lunge, and then press that left leg back. You're in a plank. Drop those knees, exhale, and come to a seated position on the floor. Nice, guys. Bound Vadakanasana. All right, great prep for a lot of poses. Think bird of paradise. All right, from here, a little baby cradle action. So take that left leg either straight out in front of you, or if it's easier, you can always bring the left leg in. All right, well, how will I know if it's easier? You're gonna lift your left leg up, this will be your right leg. Lift your right leg up and hold the outside of that foot. Then not the knee itself, but just below the knee. All right, now we're gonna angle the foot in towards us. Try to keep it up high, don't let it dip. Try to keep it up nice and high. You can stay here and just work on that hip mobility. You can bring the other hand here and start to work on bringing the foot back, right? If we were Allie or Wade or Susan, we do Telephonasana, but I can't do that. Swing the arms underneath and make a shelf. Now, as you pull in, draw your heart up and lift. So you can play with, is it better to have my foot out, or do I get more freedom in the hips when I bend my leg? See which works better for you. Nice. Little baby cradle. Now, some of you that this is easy, you're going to take and wrap that right foot into the left elbow, wrap the right arm around, and rock your baby. Or as Susan says, rock. She has a funny way of saying it. Rock your baby. Okay. And then go ahead and stretch that leg out, shake it a little bit, and we'll do the other side. So stretch the right leg out or bend it, whichever works for you. Lift that left leg up, grasp the outside of the foot and down by the knee. Now you can start to work here, just drawing the leg back, or you can start right away to bring it in. Just make certain that the foot stays flexed, again, to protect the knee, keeps muscular energy running through the leg. Work on bringing the shin towards the heart, lifting up with the heart. So trying not to roll back like we did in the seated cat-cow, right? We're staying up. And play, taking that leg back and forth. Maybe we make our shelf and we start to pull that leg in closer to the heart. And maybe we take the foot into the crook of the right arm, left arm wrapping around, pulling in and breathing. No baby cradle. How many of you like this and how many of you are like, I'm going to shoot her? You like it on the right, but not the left. Okay. Lisa says maybe after 10 more yoga classes. Love it. Yes. Yeah, pressing. Yeah, and for me, really getting the weight of the foot into the arm. I'm pushing, you know. Yeah. Right. Yeah, we're always seeking that stability, right? When you're ready, stretch the legs out. Go ahead and shake them a little bit. Pull the flesh away from the sit bones. Lift up through the heart. Oh, it should feel nice after that cradle. Exhale in forward fold. Let the heart float towards the legs. Don't over effort through the arms. Let the arms just grab wherever they may. Make the stretch happen from the sit bones, pushing the sit bones away from the heels. Now inhale, walk your hands up your legs, slide forward so you're coming all the way down onto your back. Pull the knees in towards the heart, grasp the shins, and with the breath, float 3 times, drawing the forehead up towards the knees, and then exhaling, shoulders and head to the floor. Let the core do the work here. Let your belly be working, not your shoulders, not your neck, and not your jaw. Once you've done those 3, bring the hands behind the thighs, stretch the feet towards the ceiling, and flex the toes. Pull the legs in towards each other. Stretch the fingers towards the toes. Lift through the head and the neck, drawing the shoulders up off the floor. Again, the core is doing the work, pulling the belly button towards the floor. And then just gently alternate, reaching towards the right toes, reaching towards the left toes. Doing that a couple of times, getting more into the side of our core muscles. And then gently release, come down, bringing the knees in towards the chest, arms stretch out. Take a nice easy supine twist off to the right. Let your gaze go off to the left. Inhale the knees back up to center. Exhale the knees off to the left side. Let the right shoulder sink into the floor, and as you do that, look over the right fingertips. When you're ready, bring the knees back to the midline. If there's a pose you would like to get in, yogi's choice, feel free to add that in here. If you're ready to stretch out into your Shavasana, feel free to go ahead and do that here. Keeping in mind, you're always welcome to go back to our starting position with those blocks or the bolster underneath the spine. Perhaps the knees back and the feet on each other. And one last time before your thoughts drift away, listen to what your body is telling you. Storing that knowledge away for your next yoga practice or your movement throughout the day. Simply let your breath rest easy and your mind begin to float. As you begin to bring your awareness back to your mat, take a nice deep full breath in. And then begin to invite movement into the extremities, wiggling the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. If it suits you, depending on the position you're in, draw the arms overhead, stretch through the legs, and take a first morning stretch all the way through the body, noticing as you do that how you feel. As you exhale, draw the knees into the chest and grasp the shins. Slowly rock to one side, cradling the head under the arm as we did in the beginning, or on the arm as we did in the beginning of class. Gently using the extended upper leg and the upper hand to help you rise up to an seated position. The time for effort in your class has passed. Now is the time for ease. Today we talked a lot about trying to listen to our body, listen to what it's telling us. We want to always take our yoga off our mat, learn from it, and apply it in our life. A quote I'd like you to think about today as you move through your actions today. Speak in such a way that others love to listen to you. Listen in such a way that others love to speak to you. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste. Thank you. It was fun to practice with everyone this morning. Thank you. I'll put my mask on and unmute in case anybody has any questions, or feel free to unmute yourself, guys.
Need a remote.